What if I told you that success isn't just about grinding harder or working longer hours? What if the secret to achieving your dreams lies in the unexpected, the small habits that most people overlook? The truth is, truly successful people don't follow the typical path. They do things differently, and it's these very habits that set them apart. Ready to discover the surprising rituals that could transform your own life? Let's dive into 10 unexpected habits of truly successful people. They fail forward. Failure is something that many people try to avoid at all costs. Most of us fear it, think it's something that defines us, or imagine it's the end of the road. But truly successful people have a different view of failure. They don't see it as something to fear. Instead, they see it as a stepping stone on the path to success. They fail forward. What does it mean to fail forward? It means that instead of letting failure hold you back, you use it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Successful people don't allow themselves to be defined by their mistakes. Instead, they see each failure as a lesson that brings them one step closer to their goal. When things don't work out, successful people don't get discouraged or give up. They take a moment to reflect on what went wrong and what they can do better next time. They ask themselves questions like, what did I learn from this? Or what would I do differently? By doing this, they turn a setback into a chance for growth. Failure also helps successful people build resilience. When you fail, it can feel tough at first, but over time, each failure makes you stronger and more capable. Successful people don't give up after one failure. They keep moving forward, knowing that each step, even if it's a misstep, is part of the journey to success. What's important is that they don't stay stuck in the failure. They don't dwell on it or let it define them. They take responsibility for what happened, but they also focus on the solution, not the problem. They understand that failure is temporary, but the lessons learned from it are permanent. This mindset of failing forward is one of the reasons successful people are able to achieve so much. They are not afraid to try new things, take risks, and make mistakes along the way. They know that success doesn't come from never failing. It comes from learning how to get back up after each fall. In the end, failure is just another part of the process. It's not something to fear, it's something to embrace. Successful people know that the road to success is paved with both triumphs and mistakes, and they use each failure as fuel to keep moving forward. They seek discomfort. Many people believe that success comes from staying comfortable, following routines, and avoiding challenges. However, the truly successful understand a powerful truth. Growth happens when you step outside of your comfort zone. They actively seek discomfort because they know that this is where real progress is made. At first glance, it might seem strange to look for discomfort. After all, who wants to be uncomfortable? But here's the thing, when you stay in your comfort zone for too long, you stop growing. Things may feel safe and predictable, but you're not challenging yourself to get better or learn new things. Successful people understand that comfort can be a trap that holds them back. By seeking discomfort, they push themselves to take on new challenges, try new things, and even make mistakes. Whether it's taking on a difficult project at work, having a hard conversation with someone, or learning a new skill, they know that discomfort is the key to improvement. It's in those moments of discomfort that they discover their true potential and develop the resilience needed to handle bigger challenges in the future. For example, successful people might take on a project that seems daunting or learn a skill they've never tried before. This can feel uncomfortable at first because it's something new, and new things always come with uncertainty. But instead of backing away from that discomfort, they dive into it. They understand that the initial discomfort is just a sign of growth happening. They know that the more they push themselves, the more capable they become. Seeking discomfort doesn't mean taking unnecessary risks or doing things that don't make sense. It means looking for opportunities that challenge you to be better, to think differently, and to stretch your abilities. It's about taking actions that move you out of your familiar routines and help you grow into the person you're meant to be. This habit of embracing discomfort is a key reason successful people are able to achieve so much. They don't shy away from what scares them or makes them uneasy. Instead, they face it head on, knowing that every challenge is a chance to learn, grow, and become more successful. So, if you want to achieve your goals and become truly successful, start seeking discomfort. It's the road to personal growth. and it's the only way to unlock your full potential. They practice self-compassion. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle, always pushing yourself to do more and be better. But the most successful people know that one of the most important habits they can practice is self-compassion. Self-compassion is about being kind to yourself, especially during times when things don't go as planned. Many people are their own worst critics. They beat themselves up over mistakes, failures, or when things don't go the way they hoped. But successful people understand that being hard on yourself doesn't help you grow. Instead, it holds you back. Self-compassion means treating yourself with the same kindness, care, and understanding that you would offer to a close friend who is struggling. When you practice self-compassion, you acknowledge that you are human, and like everyone else, you will make mistakes. Instead of feeling ashamed or guilty when you fail or fall short, you treat yourself with understanding and patience. You recognize that no one is perfect, and setbacks are a natural part of life. For example, if something goes wrong at work, a truly successful person would take a moment to reflect on what happened without being harsh on themselves. They would think, what can I learn from this? How can I improve next time? They wouldn't spiral into negative self-talk. Instead, they would use the experience as a lesson to help them grow and move forward. Self-compassion also means recognizing that your worth is not tied to your achievements. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that your value depends on what you accomplish or how well you perform. But successful people understand that their value is inherent. They are worthy just because they exist, not because of what they do or don't do. This mindset allows them to approach challenges with a sense of calm and confidence. By practicing self-compassion, successful people are also able to recover more quickly from setbacks. Instead of staying stuck in self-blame or frustration, they pick themselves up, learn from their experiences, and keep going. This ability to bounce back from failure is key to their long-term success. Ultimately, self-compassion allows them to stay balanced, grounded, and motivated. It helps them avoid burnout and maintain their mental and emotional well-being, which are just as important as any professional success. When you practice self-compassion, you give yourself the space to grow, learn, and be the best version of yourself. Instead of being your harshest critic, you become your own greatest supporter, which is a game changer for achieving true success. They embrace vulnerability. Truly successful people understand the power of vulnerability. Now, when most of us think about vulnerability, we often think of weakness or failure. But in reality, vulnerability is one of the strongest tools they use. Being vulnerable means allowing yourself to be seen for who you really are, imperfections and all. Successful people aren't afraid to show their true selves, even if it feels uncomfortable. Instead of putting on a mask or pretending to have all the answers, they openly share their struggles, challenges, and even their fears. Why does this matter? Because it creates authentic connections. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you open the door for deeper relationships with others. People are drawn to honesty and openness. By sharing your real thoughts and emotions, you invite others to do the same. This creates trust and a sense of mutual understanding, which is vital in both personal and professional relationships. Vulnerability also creates space for growth. When successful people acknowledge that they don't have all the answers, they stay open to learning. They ask questions, seek feedback, and admit when they need help. This willingness to be vulnerable makes them better leaders, better friends, and better collaborators because they're not afraid to learn from others. Being vulnerable also means being okay with failing. Successful people don't see failure as something to hide or avoid. Instead, they see it as part of the journey. They know that growth comes from stepping out of their comfort zone, and that requires the courage to fail. But in doing so, they gain valuable insights that help them move forward. In short, embracing vulnerability is a key part of true success. It's about being real, letting go of perfection, and allowing yourself to grow and connect with others in a deeper, more meaningful way. When you embrace vulnerability, you're not only showing strength, you're also creating the space for everything you want to achieve. They prioritize rest and recovery. In a world that celebrates constant hustle and endless productivity, it might seem like taking time to rest is counterproductive. But the most successful people understand that rest is not a luxury or something to feel guilty about. It's essential for long-term success. They prioritize rest and recovery, because they know that taking care of their minds and bodies is what allows them to perform at their best. Successful people recognize that they are not machines. They need time to recharge both physically and mentally. Without rest, it becomes harder to focus, be creative, or make good decisions. When you are constantly running on empty, your productivity decreases and your work quality can suffer. That's why successful people schedule downtime and rest just as seriously as they schedule work tasks. Rest is not just about sleeping at night. It's about taking breaks during the day, having time to relax and recharge, and allowing yourself to step away from work when you need to. For example, successful people might take a short walk to clear their heads, engage in a hobby, or practice mindfulness to help them disconnect and refresh. They understand that taking breaks during the day boosts their energy, creativity, and overall well-being. Rest also helps with recovery from stress. We all experience stress from time to time, whether it's from work, personal life, or other challenges. If you don't take the time to rest and recover, that stress can build up and lead to burnout. Successful people are mindful of this, and they make sure to take care of themselves so they don't hit a breaking point. They might take a weekend to fully disconnect from work or even plan vacations where they can completely recharge. Moreover, rest and recovery are essential for maintaining long-term motivation. When you're constantly pushing yourself without taking breaks, you can lose your passion and drive. But when you make rest a priority, you come back to your work feeling refreshed, motivated, and more ready to tackle new challenges. It helps prevent burnout and keeps you focused on your goals. Finally, by prioritizing rest, successful people set a great example for others. They show that it's okay to slow down, take care of yourself, and listen to your body. Rest isn't a sign of weakness. It's a smart strategy for staying productive and achieving long-term success. So if you want to be truly successful, remember that taking time to rest and recover is not just okay, it's necessary. Your body and mind need it to function at their best. By building rest into your routine, you'll find that you have more energy, more focus, and ultimately more success in everything you do. They invest in relationships, not just results. When we think about success, it's easy to focus solely on results, achieving goals, hitting targets, or gaining recognition. But truly successful people know that the key to lasting success isn't just about what you accomplish, it's about who you build relationships with along the way. They invest time and effort into cultivating meaningful connections because they understand that strong relationships are the foundation for long-term growth. Successful people realize that no one achieves success alone. They depend on a network of colleagues, mentors, friends, and even family members for support, advice, and encouragement. By nurturing these relationships, they create a web of trust, collaboration, and mutual respect that can help them reach their goals and overcome obstacles. Whether it's in business or personal life, successful people prioritize the people who are with them on their journey. For example, they might spend time building strong teams at work, offering support and guidance to those around them. Instead of focusing solely on their own success, they make sure that others are growing and thriving too. By doing this, they create an environment where everyone is motivated to do their best, leading to better results all around. Successful people also understand that relationships take effort. They don't just wait for opportunities to come their way, they actively engage with others. They make time to connect, listen, and support people in meaningful ways. Whether it's a simple check-in with a colleague or offering encouragement to a friend. They understand that the small acts of kindness and attention make a huge difference in strengthening relationships. Investing in relationships also means that successful people know how to collaborate rather than compete. They view teamwork as an opportunity to learn from others and share ideas. Instead of focusing only on individual success, they recognize that the collective success of a team or community can be even more powerful. They understand that when everyone works together, the results are often better, more innovative, and more sustainable. One of the most important aspects of investing in relationships is trust. Successful people prioritize building trust with others. They are open, honest, and transparent in their communication. They show up for others, keep their promises, and create an environment where people feel safe to share their thoughts, ideas, and concerns. Trust is a vital element that strengthens any relationship, and when it's present, it allows for deeper connections and greater collaboration. Lastly, successful people know that investing in relationships is not just about professional networking. It's also about personal connections. They take the time to build deep, meaningful friendships, the kind that provide emotional support and joy. These personal relationships offer a sense of balance and help them stay grounded during challenging times. So if you want to be successful in the long term, remember that the people around you are just as important as the results you're working toward. By investing in relationships, not just outcomes, you create a strong foundation that supports your growth, provides valuable support when needed, and allows you to experience the true joy of success. Relationships are the true currency of success, and they're what keep you moving forward even when the going gets tough. They practice gratitude. Daily gratitude is a powerful tool, and truly successful people know how important it is to practice it every day. It's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of goals, focusing on what's not going right or what you still need to achieve. However, successful people understand that taking a moment each day to reflect on what they are grateful for helps shift their mindset and fuels their success in meaningful ways. So, what exactly does practicing gratitude look like? It's simply the act of appreciating the good things in your life, no matter how big or small. Successful people make gratitude a daily habit. It might be as simple as taking a few minutes in the morning to think about the things they're thankful for, or keeping a gratitude journal where they write down 3 things they appreciate each day. Why does this matter so much? Gratitude is powerful because it changes how you see the world. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, you start to see opportunities instead of obstacles. You shift from a mindset of scarcity, thinking there's never enough, to one of abundance, recognizing that there's plenty to be grateful for. This shift in perspective makes it easier to handle challenges and stay positive, even when things don't go as planned. Successful people know that practicing gratitude doesn't mean ignoring difficulties or pretending that everything is perfect. It simply means acknowledging the good, even when things are tough. For example, if they face a setback, they might take a moment to be grateful for the lesson they've learned or the strength they've gained from the experience. This mindset helps them stay resilient and move forward, even when things don't go according to plan. Another reason successful people practice gratitude is because it builds emotional strength. When you focus on gratitude, you train your mind to look for the positive, which leads to a greater sense of happiness and fulfillment. Gratitude also helps reduce stress and anxiety by shifting attention away from worries and toward the present moment. This is why successful people often have a more positive outlook. They've trained themselves to focus on the blessings in their lives rather than fixating on what's missing. Gratitude also helps build stronger relationships. When you express appreciation for others, whether it's a colleague, friend, or family member, it strengthens the connection. Successful people regularly acknowledge the efforts of those around them, whether by saying thank you, giving compliments, or offering support. This not only makes others feel valued, but also creates an environment of mutual respect and trust. Lastly, practicing gratitude makes you more grounded. In the pursuit of success, it's easy to get caught up in the next big goal or the next achievement. But successful people know that true fulfillment comes from appreciating where they are right now. They don't wait until they reach the next milestone to feel gratitude. They feel thankful for the journey and everything they've learned along the way. In conclusion, practicing gratitude daily isn't just about feeling good. It's about creating a mindset that fuels long-term success. When you take time to appreciate what you have, you cultivate a positive outlook, increase your resilience, and build stronger relationships. So, if you want to be successful, start practicing gratitude every day. It will change how you see the world and help you stay focused on the things that truly matter. They say no more often saying no is one of the most powerful tools in the toolkit of truly successful people. It might sound counterintuitive, especially in a world that often praises being busy and always saying yes to every opportunity. But successful people understand that saying no is just as important, if not more important, than saying yes. They know that their time is their most valuable resource, and they must protect it in order to focus on what truly matters. Saying no doesn't mean being rude or rejecting people. It simply means setting boundaries and being mindful of where you invest your time and energy. Successful people understand that not every opportunity is the right one for them, and they don't feel guilty about turning down things that don't align with their values, priorities, or goals. For example, if someone asks them to take on a project or attend a meeting that doesn't contribute to their main objectives, they'll say no without hesitation. They understand that saying yes to everything can lead to burnout, overwhelm, and spreading themselves too thin. By saying no, they ensure they have the mental and physical energy to focus on the things that really matter and bring them closer to their bigger goals. Saying no also means being honest with yourself about what you can realistically handle. We often say yes to things because we want to please others or we feel obligated. But successful people are aware that they can't do everything, and that's okay. They know their limits and are comfortable respecting them. This allows them to maintain balance in their lives, avoid overcommitting, and stay focused on their most important work. Another reason why saying no is so important is because it allows successful people to prioritize what's truly meaningful. They choose to say yes to opportunities that align with their values and long-term vision. They don't waste time on things that will only bring short-term rewards or distractions. By being selective, they make sure their efforts are always directed toward their bigger goals, rather than being sidetracked by less important tasks. Saying no also strengthens their relationships with others. When you say no, you're showing that you respect both your time and theirs. You're being honest about what you can realistically do, which leads to clearer expectations and less frustration for everyone involved. It's better to say no up front than to agree to something and not be able to follow through. Successful people also say no to negative influences and distractions. They are intentional about who they surround themselves with and what they allow into their lives. Whether it's saying no to toxic people, negativity, or distractions, they protect their mental and emotional energy. This helps them stay focused, positive, and aligned with their goals. Lastly, saying no helps to maintain a sense of control over your own life. It's easy to feel like you're being pulled in all directions. But when you get comfortable saying no, you regain control over your time and your decisions. This gives you the power to prioritize the things that truly matter and to move forward with purpose. In summary, saying no is not about being selfish or rejecting others. It's about being intentional with your time, energy, and focus. Successful people understand that in order to make progress toward their goals and avoid burnout, they need to say no to things that don't serve them. By setting clear boundaries and being mindful of where they invest their efforts, they create space for the things that matter most, allowing them to achieve success in a more meaningful and sustainable way. They constantly learn and adapt. One of the key habits of truly successful people is their commitment to constant learning and adaptation. They know that success is not a destination, but a journey. And in order to keep moving forward, they need to continuously grow, evolve, and adapt to new challenges. Learning isn't something they do just in the early stages of their careers or lives. It's a lifelong practice. Successful people are always looking for new ways to improve, whether it's picking up a new skill, reading books, attending workshops, or seeking out mentorship. They know that the world is always changing, and so must they. They understand that learning isn't limited to formal education or professional development. It's about being curious, staying open-minded, and embracing new ideas. For example, many successful people set aside time every day to read or listen to podcasts. This isn't just for entertainment. It's a deliberate effort to expand their knowledge and stay on top of new trends or ideas in their field. By making learning a daily habit, they constantly improve their expertise, which helps them stay competitive and innovative. Successful people also understand the importance of learning from their failures. Instead of seeing mistakes as setbacks, they view them as valuable lessons. When something doesn't go as planned, they reflect on what went wrong and what they can do differently next time. This willingness to adapt and learn from failure is what allows them to grow stronger and more resilient with each challenge they face. In addition to learning from their own experiences, successful people also seek out feedback from others. They are open to constructive criticism and are willing to listen to different perspectives. This openness helps them identify areas for improvement that they might not have seen on their own. They aren't afraid to ask for help or advice because they know that learning from others is a key part of their growth. Adapting is also a critical part of this process. The world is constantly changing, and what worked in the past may not be as effective today. Successful people understand that in order to stay relevant and continue achieving their goals, They need to be flexible and willing to try new approaches. They aren't stuck in old ways of thinking. They are adaptable, able to pivot when necessary, and ready to embrace new opportunities. Learning and adapting also helps successful people stay innovative. They are constantly looking for ways to improve their processes, whether it's in their personal lives or their careers. They are always asking, how can I do this better? Or what's the next step I should take? This mindset of continuous improvement drives them to achieve things that others might not even think are possible. Ultimately, the habit of constant learning and adapting is one of the reasons successful people are able to maintain long-term success. They never stop growing. They never stop evolving. They understand that success is about staying ahead, being curious, and always striving to improve. By committing to this process, they open themselves up to endless possibilities for personal and professional growth, allowing them to reach new heights of achievement. They focus on the bigger picture. Truly successful people have a unique ability to keep their eyes on the bigger picture, even when they're faced with small, everyday challenges. It's easy to get caught up in the details, the little setbacks, the minor problems, and the things that don't always go as planned. But successful people understand that focusing on the bigger picture is what helps them stay motivated, navigate obstacles, and ultimately reach their long-term goals. What does it mean to focus on the bigger picture? It's about having a clear vision of your end goal and keeping that vision in mind when things get tough. Successful people know that the path to success is rarely straight. There will be bumps along the way, moments of frustration, and things that don't go as planned. But instead of getting lost in these short-term struggles, they remind themselves of the larger purpose they're working toward. For example, let's say a successful person is working on a big project, but they run into a series of obstacles along the way. Delays, miscommunications, or unexpected setbacks. While these issues might feel frustrating in the moment, they don't allow themselves to get overwhelmed or discouraged. Instead, they focus on the bigger goal, completing the project successfully, learning from the experience, and moving one step closer to their larger vision. Keeping this big picture in mind helps them stay calm and focused, even when things don't go as planned. Successful people also understand the value of patience. They know that achieving their big goals takes time and doesn't happen overnight. In today's world, where we're constantly surrounded by instant gratification and quick results, it can be hard to stay patient. But successful people trust the process. They understand that small, consistent steps, even when they feel slow, will eventually lead to significant progress. Or they stay committed to the bigger vision and continue to move forward, even when it feels like it's taking longer than expected. Focusing on the bigger picture also helps successful people make decisions that align with their long-term goals, rather than getting distracted by short-term rewards. For example, they might choose to invest time and energy into building a strong foundation for their business, even if it means sacrificing immediate profits. They understand that these sacrifices will pay off in the future when their business becomes more stable and successful. This long-term mindset is one of the keys to their success. Moreover, successful people know how to evaluate opportunities based on their bigger goals. They don't say yes to everything that comes their way. Instead, they carefully consider how each decision or opportunity fits into their overall vision. If something doesn't align with their larger goals, they are comfortable saying no, knowing that staying focused on what truly matters is what will get them where they want to go. In addition, keeping the bigger picture in mind helps successful people maintain motivation during difficult times. When things aren't going well or when they face challenges, they remind themselves why they started in the first place, whether it's to create a meaningful impact, achieve financial freedom, or make a difference in the world. This sense of purpose gives them the strength to keep going. They know that every obstacle is part of the process, and that overcoming these challenges is what will ultimately lead to success. Finally, focusing on the bigger picture helps successful people stay grounded and keep perspective. It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day pressures and lose sight of what's truly important. But when you're constantly reminding yourself of the larger goals you're working toward, it helps you stay focused on what really matters, reduce stress, and make better decisions. In conclusion, focusing on the bigger picture is a powerful habit of truly successful people. It helps them stay motivated, make better decisions, and persevere through challenges. By keeping their eyes on the long-term goals and trusting the process, They are able to navigate setbacks and stay on track towards success. So, if you want to achieve your goals, remember to always keep the bigger picture in mind. It will help you stay focused, motivated, and ready for whatever challenges come your way. As we've explored today, truly successful people have developed a set of habits that set them apart. They understand that success isn't just about hard work or reaching a destination, but about the daily choices they make, the mindset they adopt, and the way they navigate challenges. From practicing self-compassion and investing in relationships to prioritizing rest and continually learning, each habit is a building block that supports their growth and resilience. The common thread that runs through all these habits is intentionality. Successful people make choices that align with their values and long-term goals, staying focused on the bigger picture while maintaining the flexibility to adapt when needed. They understand that it's not about being perfect. It's about showing up, making progress, and staying committed to their journey. Remember, success is not a one-size-fits-all concept. It's personal, it's evolving, and it's built through small, consistent action. So as you move forward in your own life, take these habits to heart and make them your own. The journey of success starts with the daily decisions you make and with the right mindset and habits. You can achieve the success you envision. Keep learning, keep adapting, and most importantly, keep showing up with purpose. Your path to success is uniquely yours, so